Hello there, everyone. Zantok here with Select Star Gaming, and welcome to another episode here of 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. Continuing on from the stream archive footage that I played a while back, but let's go ahead and kick it off to Past Me, who's going to be continuing through the game. Take it away. Okay, so let's see here. Knife End is worse as it is the least essential. Worst is something else. Oh. Okay. I'm so excited I spilled my drink. Gotta get a new one. Alright, I don't know if Kelly came back yet, but I am. My dog's not back yet. Don't know where they went. Alright. Junpei felt the flood of emotion wash over him. Right after the dog comes back. Alright, well, that you're back, let's close the door. Get under the blanket, dog. Alright, go lay down. Well, why are you at my feet? You're supposed to go sleep. Anyway, he felt a chill down his back, and his chest tightened, even as his blood began to boil. There was a moment of complete silence.
Junpei, look behind you.
To the other door.
Behind? What?
Junpei could scarcely believe what he saw.
Why? A door and a 9. There's another one? Hey, what the hell? What the hell is going on here?
His words came slowly, and his brain struggled to understand what he'd seen. On shaky legs, he made his way to the second 9. It was a small door, set parallel to the door they'd come through, but in the other corner of the room. 9. There was no mistaking the number, and if any more proof was needed, a red was bolted to the wall near the door.
There's a red there too. That means... And of course it won't open.
He grabbed the handle and shook the door, not because he expected it to open, but because he had to make sure it was real.
Why the hell are there 2 doors?
It was Ace who spoke first.
Do you think perhaps one is the right door and the other is the wrong one?
Lotus was skeptical.
I don't know about that. It seems unlikely.
What makes you say so?
Well, think about all the rooms we've been through so far. They're full of puzzles, but there are always hints about how to solve them. I'm pretty sure there aren't any rooms where we just had to go with our best guess and leave it to instinct to solve the puzzle. Do you really think that at the very end of the game, Zero's going to suddenly throw in something that depends entirely on luck?
Then you're saying there's some sort of hint in this room?
No, I don't think there's a hint anywhere in here. I searched it very well when I was in here before. I didn't find anything that might have been a hint, though.
Did you open the coffin?
Well then, that means...
Yeah, both of these are the right door.
I really expected more people to be dead by this
I mean,
point.
if you
I
think
really
about
did.
it, Zero never actually said there was only one door with a 9 on it.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Junpei began to mutter to
So
himself.
if there are 2 number 9 doors, if we split it up right,
That's not gonna work.
Junpei blinked and looked up at Clover. She held out her
You've
hand.
got a notebook and a pen, right? Can I borrow them?
Again, yes.
here.
Slightly confused, he pulled them out and handed them to her.
Look at this.
I'm so glad that other characters do this for me, so I don't have to. Clover opened the notebook to a blank page and set it down on the desk. Everyone else gathered around her and watched as she wrote down a series of numbers.
You get it? The numbers on the top are all the combinations with digital roots of 9. The numbers on the bottom are the people who don't fit.
Well, let's see here. Here are 3 of my suspects for being involved in the bullshit. So maybe they all get left behind and the rest of us get to go?
There's only 8 possibilities if we split up into 2 groups of 3 or 4 people. So...
If 3 people go through the door, then 4 are left behind. If 4 go through, then 3 are left behind. Right?
yeah.
And nobody wants to die. So we're about to have a good old fight.
No way.
I wonder if there's anybody that's like more likely to leave than others. So if we were to look at all the numbers, is there anybody that like gets to leave in almost every circumstance? Or is there somebody that's like rarely ever going to be able to leave? I'm really curious about that, but I can't see all the combinations. The room went very quiet. Silence lay across everyone like a thick, heavy blanket. No one spoke. Their faces were blank.
Come to think of it,
Desperate for something else to look at, Junpei turned his eyes to the room around him.
what is this room?
The walls are covered with candles. The wavering flame made the shadows of Junpei and his companions look as though they were dancing. 2 rows of wooden pews filled most of the
Looks
room.
like it's set up for some kind of ceremony. But what kind?
Between them was a strip of red, rich carpet. The carpet ran straight through the room, ending at the door that pointed to the stern of the boat. At the end of the carpet,
Is that an altar?
it was a recessed space set into the wall between the 2 of the doors. Sitting on a raised a section of the altar was a coffin.
A coffin? No, it couldn't possibly be.
But if it wasn't, then whose body occupied it? That was as far as Junpei wanted to pursue that line of thought. He decided not to think about the coffin for the time being. At that moment, Seven spoke up. There was an edge of humor to his voice, but it was forced.
Okay, I give up. I give up. I figured if we sat around here long enough, someone would volunteer. But I guess nobody's got the guts to do it.
You goddamn
What are
right!
you talking about?
Junpei didn't understand, and he wasn't the only one.
You guys didn't figure it out yet? Fine, fine, let me enlighten you. Clover was mostly right with her little explanation earlier, but she missed something. She wasn't really wrong, she just... screw it! Let me just write it out.
Okay. Seven snatched up the notebook and began to write in it. Everyone else clustered around him, desperate for a look.
If you're trying to leave with a group of 3 and a group of 4 and get everybody out, Clover's right. But there's another way. Only one combination, though. If you split us up into groups of 3, 3, and 1, you can make this combination.
Oh. Oh, poor Seven.
Wait, this means...
Don't get me wrong here. I'm not trying to copy Ace or anything like that. Even if he hadn't been the hero back in the big hospital room, I'd still be saying the same thing.
The same thing? Are you saying?
Yeah, I am. I'll stay behind.
Damn. Well, this is better than triple dots from everyone.
Why are you acting so heroic all of a sudden? Are you some kind of idiot?
Lotus was the first to speak. That in itself was a little strange. She had reacted much differently when Ace had volunteered.
No, I'm completely against this. I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna have to owe you for getting out of here.
The rest of them began to speak, all at once.
I'm against it too. I didn't want to leave Ace behind, and I don't want to leave you either.
I don't like that idea. There's gotta be other options.
I disagree as well. I can't say I care much for you being the hero.
Finally, they quieted down, and Junpei looked at
Well,
Seven.
there you go, Seven. Proposal denied. Clover's right. There's gotta be a better way than this.
Well, if you guys open the fucking coffin, you'll get your remaining 2 that you need. Seven made some noise that was somewhere between a derisive snort and a cough.
Doesn't make any sense.
He was doing his best to pretend they were making a foolish decision, but Junpei could see the twinkling of water at the corners of Seven's eyes. That was when Santa spoke.
Whoa, hold on a minute. I haven't said anything yet.
Until then, Junpei hadn't realized that Santa had stayed quiet for the whole discussion of Santa's fate. Something in his voice made Junpei
Are
uncomfortable.
you agreeing? You want to leave him here?
Santa shook his head.
I'm against it. I don't want to leave Seven here alone.
Then I don't see how it matters.
I said alone.
Huh?
I said I don't want to leave Seven alone.
There was a dull shine in Santa's eyes. They were cold and hard. And Junpei felt himself shiver.
What the hell are you...
What? You don't get it? I can't leave just one person. I need 2 more. 3 people, including 7. I'll be leaving behind 3 people.
I'm sorry?
That's my proposal. No, those are my orders.
What do you mean, orders? What the hell makes you think you can order us around? Who the hell's gonna listen to you?
You all will. In 3 seconds, you won't have a choice.
What?
3, 2, 1.
Santa was so fast that Junpei could barely see him. When he moved, it was almost like watching a dance. His feet moving like lightning. He spun and... The fucking gun! It's back! Let me guess. Let me fucking guess. You want to leave behind Ace, 7, and Lotus. Because they were involved last time and you're fucking 0.
See? I told you.
His lips curled into a cruel, mocking smile.
What?
A shudder traveled the length of Junpei's spine. His chest froze and he could feel his breath go stale in his lungs as I went to go check the flowchart. Nope, we're still in the middle. Okay. Nothing made sense. Junpei felt as though his head was about to explode. Santa's sudden change in attitude, saying that he needed 2 more. The gun in his right hand, a revolver. Santa had grabbed Jun from behind and pressed what Junpei's shaken brain identified as a revolver roughly against her temple.
Why? What the hell is that?
Where on earth had Santa possibly found a gun? Junpei's questions roared in his mind, but his mouth refused to ask them. 7 spoke, almost as though he had sensed Junpei's confusion.
Guns from the other room.
What room?
One of the rooms behind door 6. I should have known he was gonna do this. I should have taken the gun.
Well, it's too late now, fat ass.
Damn it.
For his neutral special, he wields a gun! Yeah. A mixture of fury and frustration twisted Seven's face, and he glared at Santa. Santa, for his part, didn't so much as flinch. The corner of his lip twitched into a slightly wider smile. Then, the smile faded, and he began to move. He walked backward, dragging Jun with him. Before long, his back was resting against the door. On the wall next to him was the red. He put his hand on the scanner panel quickly, and then forced Jun to do the same.
Now, time for you to start following my orders. Ace, Lotus, congratulations.
Oh.
I've chosen you to come with me.
That surprised me. Okay. Curious. Why?
Put your hands on the red.
That was what Santa had meant when he said he needed 2 more.
Hey, you deaf? I gave you an order.
Santa's eyes narrowed the slits. He glared at Ace and Lotus. They stayed, frozen, like deer caught in the headlights of an oncoming car.
Fine. I didn't want to waste any bullets, but you guys just don't get it.
No sooner the words out of Santa's mouth than his hands twitched. And the gun roared. And to the floor. Alright, the fake out got me. A section of the floor exploded, scattering wooden splinters across the floor. A thin plume of smoke sneaks out of the hole in the floor. There could be no doubt that the gun was real and worked.
He really shot it? But why? Santa, why are you...
Clover's voice spoke of betrayal and disbelief.
Santa, I thought you were one of us. I thought we were friends.
What?
You knew about the leaf words and the 4-leaf clover.
Santa's cheek twitched, almost
What
imperceptibly.
the hell is that shit? I've got no idea.
You're lying.
Shut up. Just shut up, you stupid bitch. You want me to put a bullet in your fucking head?
Flecks of spit flew from Santa's mouth, his face twisted with rage. Clover recoiled, her eyes wide. When she spoke, her voice was very small. He snorted, and then shook his head vigorously, and turned to face Ace and Lotus.
All right, assholes. What are you still standing there for? get over here and scan those bracelets. I don't have all day. Oh, what's the matter? Your hearing's starting to go? Going senile, maybe?
Ace and Lotus still didn't move. It almost seemed as if they couldn't move. June's face was pale behind Santa's arm. Her eyes were wild, and her chest heaved with every quick breath, like an animal cornered by a predator. Junpei's mind worked furiously. What were they going to do? Then he realized something. There was nothing they needed to do. There was nothing to debate.
That's it.
June's safety was the first priority. That much was obvious. Doing as Santa had commanded meant that they would be safe from at least 2 threats. She wouldn't be shot, and she wouldn't leave the ship alive. Or she would leave the ship alive, along with Santa, Ace, and Lotus. There's only one thing for Junpei to do.
It's the only way.
He turned to Ace and Lotus.
Please, go. Huh?
No way.
Junpei, what are you saying? If you stay here, you're going to be stuck, Junpei. And so will Clover and Seven.
I know, but you don't need to worry about us. We'll figure something out. Right, Seven?
Right. You just leave it to us. It's gonna piss me off to do what Santa says, but...
Don't worry about me either. There's still something I have to take care of.
Yeah, there is.
No, no, you can't! Ace, Lotus, don't come over! Don't worry about me, please!
June was almost crying. Junpei walked around behind Ace and Lotus. He gently placed a hand on each of their shoulders and pushed them toward the door. They almost stumbled, then righted themselves and took another step. And another. They turned around and Junpei nodded.
Oh, all right.
Fine.
Ace and Lotus turned around again and walked slowly to the door to where Santa was waiting for them. After what seemed like an eternity, they stopped in front of the door marked 9. Santa smiled.
All right, now let's get those hands in the scanner panel. What's the holdup? What? You think I'm fucking around here? I don't give a shit about this girl. Greg doesn't need a person, you know? All I need is the bracelet. You get it? Good. Now put your fucking hands on the scanner. I'm not gonna say it again.
Now, how does he know this? How does he know this? He shoved the revolver harder against June's head, and she winced.
Fine.
Ace sighed, defeated, and placed his hand on the scanner panel. Lotus went next. Lotus glared at Seven and slammed her hand onto the scanner panel. The 4th asterisk blinked on.
Good job. Now, Lotus, pull that lever. Soon as the door opens, you get your ass in there. Try anything stupid, and you know what happens, right?
Damn it.
Junpei could almost hear Lotus's teeth grind. The door slid open. Door number 9 opened at last. It opened with a low, powerful rumble, a drum roll, to welcome the chosen few.
Go!
Lotus and Ace walked to the door, their eyes furious but defeated. Something I'm wondering here. Because if my theory is correct on everything, then he should not want them to live. So is he going to just let them go in the door and let them die? And it's just a ploy to get rid of them? Or is he actually going to go in there? I don't know. I'm curious. Santa waited until they were all the way inside, then hauled himself and June across the threshold as well. Okay, nope, he went in. Had to do.
Later.
After exactly 9 seconds, the door swung shut. The gust of air it created caused the candles on the altar to flicker and die. The room fell silent. Junpei, Clover, and Seven had been left behind. Clover looked down at her hand and traced with her finger the faint blue lines that crisscrossed them. Seven shoved his arms into the front of his overalls and scratched his stomach. No one spoke. The worst Secret Santa gift ever, right? No one spoke. Silence made the air feel thick and oppressive. Desperate for something, anything to occupy his mind, Junpei walked through the larger of the two 9 doors. He stood in front of it and looked at the red. It read, engaged. He moved to the smaller door. It read, vacant. The digital root of the remaining people was 7. 5, 4, and 7 becomes 16, which becomes 7. There was no possible way for them to open a door with 9 on it. Except for, once they get Snake out of the coffin, or at that 0 bracelet that Clover clearly stole, is still a 2, like I believe it was in the first timeline where we came this far. If I remember correctly. Junpei touched the surface of the door.
June.
He thought about June, about Akane Kurashiki. Was she safe? That was all that mattered to him. If she was alive, if she had escaped this horrible boat. That was what Junpei prayed for. 7 came up next to him. He pulled off his hat, scratched his head, and sighed.
So, what do you want to do, Junpei?
What do you mean, what do I want to do? What can we do?
7 opened his mouth to respond when... There it is! I've been wondering when that would happen. Oh, we're finally over here! We're finally at this one. Someone was pounding on something, vigorously. It wasn't mechanical. It was certainly human. Junpei and 7 looked at one another.
What the hell is that?
Shh, quiet.
Clover motioned to 7 to be quiet. She put one finger to her lips and closed her eyes in concentration. The 3 of them listened, trying to determine where the sound was coming from.
Where's it coming from?
So if you arrive here without the safe ending, it cuts off into a to be continued, which I think is what you told me was the first ending that you got, Kelly. So does it cut off like right here, like right at this moment where they first hear the knocking? Or is it like when they approach the coffin or something? I'm curious about that. Oh, wait, Trail, you're still here. Nice. Yeah, we are about to hit the true ending. Just randomly stumbled on it.
Hey, I think it's coming from this coffin.
You're right.
Let's open it.
But how?
What are those muscles for? For show?
You're telling me to force it open?
This run, Clover has definitely risen the ranks of characters. This entire stream has pretty much been the story of Clover, it feels like.
Just shut up and try!
Right as it zooms from the coffin, and yeah, my first ending, it was painful. Yeah, I believe it. God damn. They tried to get a good grip with what little purchase they could find and pulled with all their strength.
Damn it!
It won't even budge.
There was some sort of keypad attached to the coffin. Its purpose would not have been difficult to determine. Their eyes were almost immediately drawn to it.
Another one?
Yeah, looks like it.
Do you think we have to put in the right password or it won't open?
I think so.
So are they gonna, is he gonna remember the password from a different timeline? Is that what we're gonna get here? Because he did not get to the safe, so I'm confused a little bit. The door wasn't stopping though. In fact, it was getting louder.
Whoever or whatever's inside this thing wants out, and now.
I know that. But how?
Without a passcode, I don't think there's much we can do.
They couldn't even tell how many numbers the passcode needed to be.
Isn't there a hint somewhere?
Well, let's look for one.
Unfortunately, there didn't seem to be anything near the coffin. Clover ran to examine the pews, and 7 investigated the desk, but they turned up nothing.
There's nothing here.
Not making this easy, are they?
The sound still wouldn't stop. It wasn't a noise that belonged in that room.
What's the passcode. What am I supposed to do? How can we figure it out? I need something.
Clover has the note about the sinister hand, but that's how we get the safe open. That's what Clover has right now. But the note in the safe is what tells us the thing to open up our bracelet, isn't it? No, wait. No, that's right. The note from Clover does also open up, does do the bracelet thing, and that number is both this and the safe. That's what it was. So we can know. So we do have what we need here. And this is where you get the to be continued if you didn't have the safe ending, I guess. The world blinked. At least that's my assumption because we just did a just a little zoom. Suddenly, there was a voice inside of Junpei's head. Truth had gone, tooth had gone, and truth had gone. So we are getting a fucking message from the other timeline. Okay. Ah, now Truth was asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand.
Wait, what? What the hell was that? That voice?
Junpei was utterly and completely baffled.
Huh? What?
What's up?
Seven and Clover ran over to him, but Junpei didn't know what to tell them.
Huh?
If he told them he'd heard a voice, they'd laugh, or worse, think he was going insane. So, all he said was...
Nothing.
He cleared his throat, a little too loud, and looked pointedly down at his bracelet. There were a pair of buttons protruding from either side of it. Junpei, he pressed the buttons. Right, left, right, left, right, left. That was it. Eight numbers blinked on and then off on the bracelet display. Junpei checked one last time. 14383421.
14383421.
Huh?
Huh?
Hey, what the hell were those numbers?
Oh my gosh. Are those...
Junpei didn't answer. He simply walked straight to the coffin. He knelt down in front of his keypad, running over the numbers in his head so that he wouldn't forget.
14383421. 14383421.
With trembling fingers, he punched them in. That was all of them. He punched the E button. There was a moment of complete silence. Then there was the sound of the coffin lid unlatching. Someone sat up out of it.
No way.
What?
Why are you...
Oh? Is that you, Clover? I apologize for worrying you.
Snake!
You? Why?
Junpei? And Seven? Is that you? Is everyone else there as well?
Just like Rip Van Winkle. Still, it was very much like Snake to simply cut to the heart of the matter and ask.
Jeez.
Junpei and Seven shared a wry smile. Clover's eyes were filled with tears.
You're back!
With a cry of joy, she leapt into Snake's arms.
Gently now. My body's still a little weak.
Oh, you're back!
Clover looked like nothing so much as a lost child who had finally found her home. She cried and cried and cried. Her eyes were red and her nose was running. She hiccuped and gasped as if she were about to begin hyperventilating.
You're back! You're really here!
Her voice was happy, but almost desperate, as if she feared he would disappear again if she stopped talking to him. Tear after tremendous tear rolled its way down her face. Her small arms strained as she clutched Snake's body as tightly as she could. Perhaps she had to convince herself he was real. Perhaps she was worried he would be gone the moment she let go. Perhaps she simply didn't know what else to do.
You're back!
Come now, what's gotten into you? You're acting as though I've returned from the grave.
Wow.
Not
You
this
were in a
much.
coffin.
You did. I really thought you were dead.
Also, there's that.
Huh?
You jerk! Idiot! Idiot!
Clover broke into sobs so great she could no longer walk. It was a touching reunion between brother and sister. Even though Junpei knew they had little time and every minute they waited was a minute they wasted, it felt cruel to pull them apart. Junpei and Seven sat down on one of the pews, waiting for Clover to calm down before explaining to Snake what had transpired.
I see. I believe I understand things rather well now, thank you. In the shower room, there is a dead body wearing my clothes.
Yes.
Because of that, you thought that I was dead, correct?
He had quickly and neatly summarized the events of several hours.
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
You also discovered a corpse in the captain's quarters, and Santa turned on you here, in this room. Do I have it straight?
Well, the dead body in the captain's quarters is a surprise.
Sorry, there wasn't a good time to tell you.
Don't worry about it.
Well then. I've got a pretty decent idea of what happened while I was indisposed, but it's still something of a mystery who did all this, and why. The corpse in the shower room that looked like me, and the corpse in the captain's quarters. Why were they killed in the way they were?
Yeah.
You don't know?
Well, one of them we know, but the other one we don't.
No. Why would I?
The guy in the shower room. We don't know who he is, so let's just call him Mr. X.
I thought it was Guy X. Don't change it on me now.
Anyway, this Mr. X is wearing Snake's clothes. But you're wearing some kind of weird robes. That means someone took your clothes and put them on Mr. X. We need to figure out who that was.
I apologize, but I have no idea who might have done this to me. I only just now woke up. I was unconscious during all the events you just described to me. They must have undressed me and changed my clothes during that time.
When were you knocked out?
When we split up to look for the red.
We still don't know who put the guts back in the reds,
Where
though.
did they get you? Do you remember?
It was a small room in one of the hallways on C deck.
What happened?
The same thing that happened to every one of us when we were abducted. A canister releasing some sort of gas was thrown into the room. I believe the gas is some sort of incapacitating agent.
Then that means it was...
Zero.
Looks that way, huh?
There's nothing else I have to tell you. When I woke up, I was in this coffin.
Junpei crossed his arms in thought.
Why? Why did Zero make Mr. X wear Snake's clothes? How would that benefit Zero? I don't get it. What the hell does any of it mean? And I have no idea how I got the passcode for the coffin either.
Science bullshit.
Truth had gone, and truth had gone. Where did those words come from? Why did I feel compelled to push the buttons on the bracelet after hearing them?
Seven had asked him about it while they waited for Clover to finish crying. He'd had no answer for him then, and he still didn't.
All I know is my fingers moved on their own. It was like I did it subconsciously. I don't get it. What the hell does any of it mean?
His mind was a maelstrom of mysteries, clues, theories, and more mysteries. He could barely think.
Also, Snake and Clover had been subjects in a similar experiment 9 years ago.
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger. And someone did actually die. A girl. Her name was...
There had been another experiment conducted on this same ship 9 years ago, and a girl had died during it. Morphogenetic field theory. The 2 murders. Switching clothes. The Nonary Game.
And whatever strange thing was happening to Junpei himself. The maelstrom in his head spat out words and ideas that disappeared back into it almost as soon as he grasped them. But as he struggled through them, Junpei began to realize something. There was something that tied all of them together, and the point connecting the dots.
Zero. He's the ringleader. The person who trapped 9 of us on this sinking ship. Zero should know everything. If we can uncover Zero's identity, all of our questions will be answered.
Who was Zero? Junpei had the beginnings of a theory. If he could only test it, or perhaps...
At any rate, we'll have plenty of time to decipher the details later. For now, it is of utmost importance that we escape. Junpei, it was 4:30 the last time you checked the clock, yes? That means we have less than an hour. We must hurry.
Hey, how are we gonna get out of here?
Isn't that obvious? Through the other number 9 door.
5, 4, 7, 2. Gets us to 9.
Oh yeah, you're right. With Snake, we can open the door.
Don't tell me you hadn't figured that out.
As they sniped back and forth, Junpei glanced at Snake's left hand. He was wearing a bracelet with a 2 on it.
Come on, you gotta tell me these things.
I, assumed you'd figured it out.
Forget it. Let's just get going.
7 stomped off toward the smaller number 9 door. Clover, Snake, and Junpei followed. 7 quickly laid his hand on the red. An asterisk appeared on the screen. Junpei and the others followed suit and laid their hands on the scanner panel. Soon, there were 4 asterisks on the screen. 7 glanced at them, then laid his hand on the lever of the red.
All right. You guys ready to go?
Yes.
Yep.
Junpei paused for a moment.
Not yet.
Huh?
Before we go in, I'd like to check something.
You want to check something?
Yeah, but before I do, 7, could you pull the lever? I want to make sure we can verify with just the 4 of us.
What do you mean? We don't need.
Just do it, all right? But if the door opens, don't go in yet, okay? Please, this is really important. I really need to check this, okay? Work with me here.
Junpei looked directly into 7's eyes. The older man looked back for a moment, then nodded.
9.
Seven pulled on the lever, and the door 9 creaked open. Then they waited. 6, 7, 8. After 9 seconds, the door closed. So tell us some Japanese from Critical Role. Does he have any other major VA roles he's known for? I know Weirtro's looking some up, but the one that really comes to mind for me is in Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. He plays the role of Thancred. Sam Riegel also plays Alphina. However, when they did the first expansion, Heavensward, they were both recast. A lot of characters were apparently recast. Why, I don't know. But I was pretty disappointed about that. So far, the rest of the ones we had trolls listening off. Tales of Rise, haven't played. One Piece, never watched. Soul Calibur 6. Who is he in Soul Calibur 6? I don't think I played 6 much, if at all. So I'm guessing one of the new characters? It just says 2. Who's he in Injustice? Wait, isn't he the Flash or something? I think he was the Flash in the Injustice user. So it's one of the Critical Role people was. I thought it was him. I'll let Weirtro keep looking.
All right. That means the 4 of us can go into door 9.
As well. Okay, yeah. Or as wife. Yeah, that's one of the new characters for Soul Calibur 6. Okay, yeah, and the Flash. That's what I thought. Talison's fucking good. He's also really good just like with his Critical Role characters. Like, holy shit, that man. God. All of Crit Role itself, they have a really good crew of people.
So, we knew that already. It's obvious.
Obvious. Yeah, you're right. It is. Now, what happens if we add Zero's bracelet?
What?
Zero's bracelet?
Why don't you take it out, Clover?
Wait, who does he play in the Danganronpa show? What? I don't... For a moment, Clover looked surprised, but she recovered quickly and stuck her tongue out at Junpei.
So you did know I had it. I picked it up because I thought it might be useful sometime.
Taro Kurosaki? Who the fuck is that? I don't remember that name. I'll let Kelly look that up. Or Asa, if she's still here. Junpei took it from her and turned to 7.
This was on the left hand of the corpse in the captain's quarters.
Yeah, Danganronpa 3 is just what they call the anime. It's... yeah.
If you look at it, you can see it's got a 0 on the face. Just to make this a little easier to talk about, I'm gonna call the guy we found dead in the captain's quarters, Cap. Then I should be able to open door 9 with just me, Clover, and his bracelet.
One of the student council people. Okay. The only student council person's name I remember is the green-haired kid. And that was Soshun Masamune, or however it's pronounced.
Though the big question is, if Cap is the mastermind of this game, would he really put one of these bracelets on? Anyway, let's just give it a shot. Clover, give me your hand.
Okay.
Now the captain's bracelet. And pull the lever.
However, the door didn't open. The red display read error.
I knew it. Now, what does this tell us?
Maybe the bracelet has to be on your wrist in order for it to work?
No, 7.
No, that's impossible. Did you see how the panel showed a 3rd asterisk when I scanned Cap's bracelet? Whether or not it's on your wrist doesn't matter. All you have to do is put the bracelet near the panel for it to register.
7 waves his bracelet in front of the scanner panel. Sure enough, a single asterisk appeared on the red.
Huh. Looks like you're right.
See? So what does that mean? There's only one possibility.
That bracelet isn't the number 0. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Then what number is it?
Let's find out.
Junpei. Let's scan the bracelet with this combination. Let's try to... let's click this one.
Let's try Snake, Clover, 7, and Cap. If this combination opens the door, then Cap's bracelet is number 5.
However... nope, not 5.
It didn't open.
So it's not 5.
How about...
It.
Let's try Snake, Clover, and Cap.
That wouldn't be it.
If this combination opens the door, then Cap's bracelet is number 3.
He was on an episode of House?
Nope, it didn't open.
I think most of the crit roll cast might be part of a union or group, something that might make them harder or more expensive to hire. I don't know what they all are, but I know Laura Bailey definitely is, because she hasn't been credited as Lucina ever since. Like, I'm pretty sure, I think she was actually replaced, at least in Smash. I don't know about Fire Emblem Heroes.
Then the number isn't 3.
But I know her name isn't listed on all the character alts for Lucina,
Then?
when it's supposed to list the actors.
Let's try Snake, me, and Cap. If this combination opens the door, then Cap's bracelet is number 2.
Yep, Alexis Stipton.
It didn't open.
I thought it was 2!
Cap's number must not be 2.
Then,
Well, now I actually forgot. Let's just pick another one!
let's try 7, Clover, and Cap.
Random fun fact, his first role was in the movie Mr. Mom.
If this combination opens the door...
Yeah, wasn't...
then
I
Cap's
think
bracelet
Towson was also
is
like a
number 7.
child star in movies too. Like, he was just a little kid when he first started doing acting.
Nope.
It ain't 7 then.
How about...
Oh my god.
Let's try 7, me, and Cap. If this combination opens the door, then Cap's bracelet is number 6.
Hey, there we go. That did it.
Hey, it opened. The door opened.
What? Why? What does that mean?
Both 7 and Clover seemed rather shaken. As he turned to look at Junpei for answers, he just shrugged, because what the fuck? The door slid heavily shut. Junpei raised an eyebrow.
Isn't it obvious? Cap's bracelet is number 6.
But doesn't it say 0?
This isn't a 0. The symbol on here isn't a number 0. It's a letter O.
What? What?
Oh.
How does that connect to 6?
Whoa, wait a minute. I don't get it. I mean, we figured out that Cap's bracelet is 6, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean there are 2 people with 6s?
Well, there were 2 with 2s because fucking Guy X clearly had a 2. Before Junpei could answer, Snake spoke up.
There is most likely only one person with a 6.
But I don't get it. What about June?
Well, this is only an educated guess, but I think June's number was never 6 to begin with.
What?
Her bracelet was flipped. In other words, June's real number is
9.
That seems the most likely.
But what?
Then all this numbered door stuff was just a load of crap?
Why would you say that?
Because if June is 9, then the numbers wouldn't match up.
Clover grabbed Junpei's notebook and began to write fiercely in
Here,
it.
look.
Just take my notebook for yourself at this point.
List of all the numbered doors June's gone through.
I'll let you know what I'm writing, okay, Snake? And that's everything. I wrote down which door she went into and with whom. And I wrote what all the numbers were. So if you switch 9 in wherever there's a 6, the numbers don't work. If the digital root is 7, then you can't open door 4. If the digital root is 2, then you can't open door 8.
Clover, do you notice anything interesting on that list?
What do you mean?
You're talking about 3, right?
3?
Santa's always in the room with her. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
What about it?
That's quite simple, really. You told me that the first time you came to this room, Santa was the first to refuse to leave June behind. Now, doesn't that beg the question why? The answer is easy. Because Santa can't open door 9 with only 7 in Lotus. Of course, there's only one reason for that. His number isn't actually 3.
Okay.
Santa's real number, 7? Would you be so kind as to modify my sister's equations?
Yeah, sure.
7 took the pen from a confused Clever and began to adjust her calculations.
This is what you were getting at, right, Snake?
He wrote out the changes he'd made. When he finished, he looked at Snake. And Snake smiled.
Thank you. That is exactly right, 7. Santa's true number wasn't 3. It was 0.
No way. Santa is 0?
I mean, he was my #1 suspect when we started this stream. So like, that part doesn't surprise me. But all the fucking number nonsense, to a degree, doesn't make me happy. Because I feel like the game's been lying to me when it comes to that. Which isn't something I tend to like to see. But what the fuck?
And June was 9, not 6. Conversely, Santa was 0, not 3. Plus 3 and minus 3.
So was 9th man actually 6 then as well? No, that doesn't seem right. What the fuck?
Cancel one another out. Nothing appears out of order.
Santa was still playing by the rules of the Nonary Game this whole time.
Precisely.
So you're saying Santa planned this whole thing?
I'm not sure if he acted alone or not, but I think it is safe to conclude that he is 0, if my hypothesis is correct.
Clover bit her lip. She seemed to be having some difficulty believing her brother's explanation. Junpei. Junpei remained silent and thought.
Snake's hypothesis. Something doesn't seem right. Jun's bracelet being flipped. Even if that were possible, that would mean there are 2 number 9 bracelets. And if that's the case...
All right, that's enough talking. Let's go. It's high time we went through that door.
Please. What the fuck? Door 9 opened. They leapt through.
Oh, it's right there.
But Dead was directly in front of them as they came to the door. Quickly, they scanned their bracelets. And the detonator stopped.
Oh.
After pausing for a moment to catch their collective breath, Junpei and his companions headed down the long hallway in front of them.
Let's keep going.
At the end was a set of stairs leading down into the
I
ship.
think these stairs go to the bottom deck.
They leaned out and looked over to the
Let's
side.
try.
Let's head down.
After deciding it was safe, they headed down the stairs. Before long, Junpei and his companions found themselves on the bottom deck. They turned and left, and into another hallway, at the end of which they found another door.
Hey, it's a...
That's a new one! And of course, there's a symbol engraved over the keyhole. It looks like it's the sort of harpoon one would use to hunt the fish. The kind with 3 prongs. Snake traced a symbol of it with his fingers.
This is the Neptune symbol. There must be a key around here somewhere.
Neptune key. I only have the Uranus key card.
Clearly, it wasn't going to
It's a
open this
different
door.
planet. Plus, it's the wrong kind of key.
Let's turn around and go back for now.
Yeah.
One last escape route. No, probably not. After examining the door for a few more minutes, they gave up and headed back the way they'd come.
Hey, another door.
Well, with a little more searching, they found a metal door.
And a card reader this time.
Ah, a symbol was engraved onto the card
The
reader.
Uranus symbol.
This is the place.
He muttered to himself and slid the card through the reader. It beeped once, and the light on it turned green. With a heavy metal groan, the door creaked open. Junpei, Clover, Snake, and Seven looked at one another, nodded, and stepped through. Alright, and I think that's going to be a good stopping point here for today's episode. According to these abstract facts, so I don't really know strictly what I just did, but I hope you enjoyed what we just saw, and tune in for the next episode of 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. See you all next time. Bye, everyone.